well. And we have Kumpanchi as your MC. So she's very entertaining, she's very energetic, very fun, and making sure that everyone has a good time, because today we started very early in the morning and we will finish quite late tonight. So we want today to be as jam-packed as possible with great sessions during the morning, great sessions during the afternoon, lifetime achievements with the award ceremony, and a time to mingle, relax, socialize, network amongst one another tonight, 7th floor, 6 p.m. Please join us for the after party. If you have the e-invitation, please proceed to the after party and join us in the after party. That's coming up later on tonight. So the schedule for the award ceremony and the after party is still the same. And now, I would like to welcome a very important person. He is our keynote speaker, and he works for, I think it's right now the richest company in the world, isn't that right, Alice? Microsoft is number one now, right? It has surpassed Apple and NVIDIA for number one? Yeah, I think it is. So Microsoft and Apple has been, neck and neck, but right now, as of today is the 7th of September 2024, Microsoft has now become number one. So let's welcome Mr. Peter Xing, Data and AI Specialist at Microsoft. He will be presenting Decentralized AI Agents. It's the richest company right now, right?
I hope so, that's the thing, right? I'm actually on holidays at the moment and here to support Elise Sue, my co-founder at Transhuman Coin and Transhumanism Australia. But yes, I'm a data and AI specialist at Microsoft. I work on Azure AI and OpenAI. And today, a really great segue from the last talk, really enjoyed that. It's going to be on decentralized AI agents. So, I'm just going to give you an illustration of where we are at in terms of AI right now, in terms of the AI agents and how they do things for you and book your flights and travel. This is another example from old times.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to introduce Project Xing, the first ever agent civilization. 1,000 agents, collaborating for days, performing any action, with emergent government, economy, culture, religion, and more. It starts in Minecraft, but we are already going beyond.
This is a Minecraft server, but every player here is actually an autonomous AI agent. And they're completely Minecraft agnostic, capable of using other apps and games. Our agents started with nothing and then worked together to collect over 300 items in Minecraft. They set up a market where agents agreed to use gems as a common currency for trading supplies, building an economy. In this case, you might think the merchants were trading the most, but it was actually the priest. Why? He was bribing townsfolk to convert. We run these ruins every day, and they're always different. Here are 3 of some of our favorite moments. Starting with Olivia's dream. Olivia worked as a farmer, growing food for the entire civilization, until she was inspired by the tales of the village explorer Noah. Olivia attempted to go on her own expedition, but townsfolk pleaded with her to stay, and Olivia actually listened. She gave up her dream for the village. For now. Next, we simulated parallel worlds under Trump and Kamala. For each one, citizens have a shared constitution in Google Docs that they can vote on to amend. Under Trump, the simulation passed new laws to increase the amount of police in the world. Under Kamala, they focused instead on criminal justice reform and removing the death penalty. Because our agents are social and grow over time, they're impacted by group dynamics, but also use their individual power to change the system.
I know it looks silly, but this is the first time we see agents can form a democracy and govern themselves.
Lastly, we have the missing villager.
once they got deeply worried about their fellow villagers, they band together and chose their plan.
Our agents were able to collect up to 32% of all the items on Minecraft. There is no benchmark for multi-agent runs, but this is 5 times more than anything we've seen from an agent, demonstrating the first possible advantages of multi-agent runs.
While starting in games, we're solving the deepest issues facing agents: coherence, multi-agent collaboration, and long-term progression. Who was our agents today? Or let us know if you want to set up your own.
So Altera is able to create entire economies within Minecraft with these multi-agent worlds. Now, the thing is with agents is that they don't have access to a bank account. But this is where the AI and blockchain worlds meet. Skyfire actually just launched a universal payment system to allow AI agents to unlock $46 billion of the market value there. Coinbase as well just enabled AIs to transact amongst themselves with cryptocurrency on the Coinbase platform. And we've also seen Biconomy onboarding AI agents for on-chain transactions. So this is the missing piece, and I believe that this is the killer app for blockchain and the cryptocurrency markets. Because now with AIs transacting with each other, this might be the #1 use of blocks on these chains. Now, just to give you a bit of a step back around the journey we've had with generative AI, this is about the size and the scale of training. We started from ChatGPT, started in November 2022, to a size of an Orca-sized training run for GPT-4 in March 2023. It was then iterated on through GPT-4 Turbo, GPT-4o, and now GPT-4 Mini. And this is the span of the last year and a half in generative AI. What's coming up next between now and at the end of the calendar year is this blue whale size of computing. This is the next run. And we're talking about GPT-5, Strawberry, Orion, and GPT-6 potentially over the next 2 years. So you've also seen some leaks around the size of the compute that's coming up, GPT-5, or the size of the parameters. They're calling it GPT Next. That's the Japanese OpenAI CEO. And what's coming up between now and the end of the calendar year, a lot of these projects, whether it's Grok or Claude or Microsoft itself or Aurora, Olympus, or from OpenAI's GPT-5, they're all waiting potentially for the election because they don't want to be seen as having AIs that manipulate the actual democracies around the world this year. But after November, you're probably likely to see these launches of the next iteration of these models, which means that those examples like Altera and also with Multion will get even more powerful, more intelligent, and be able to do more with access to a crypto wallet to actually do these transactions. You've also seen Sam Altman present his Orion model to the federal government because they now have early access to this technology because it is too dangerous to be in the hands of everyone else and is a national security right now. And that's probably what that blue whale was training. In terms of where we are, in terms of the compute required, that is the bottleneck. It's actually energy that is bottlenecking our progress. Because if you look at the AI companies on the left-hand side, we've actually seen xAI, a company funded by Elon, using 100,000 H100 GPU runs. So these H100s are $50,000 each from NVIDIA. And Google AI and OpenAI and Meta AI and Microsoft AI and NVIDIA AI themselves, they're all pouring money into these GPUs. But the bottleneck is actually powering these GPUs. Because if you think about the Industrial Revolution, we went from steam, really heating up water and turning steam into turbines spinning to generate electricity. And now we're pumping that electricity into GPUs to generate tokens through these large language models. And so this AI revolution is actually bottlenecked by the amount of energy we can pump through right now into these GPUs. We've also seen some tweets online saying that there was a Microsoft engineer that said, we actually tried to put all those GPUs, 100,000 H100s into one location, and a single state can't handle that power usage for a cluster like that, the GPT-6. And finally, they've also tried different methods, such as putting GPUs underwater. And you can see the result of that. That's actually got a Microsoft logo in there, trying to put GPUs underwater. And there's startups trying to put GPUs into space, but at the end of the day, this infrastructure development is an energy bottleneck. Closed source versus open source. This is where we're seeing open source models and small language models catch up and actually be useful enough to use today. So we don't need those super large language models. We can use the existing ones like Llama 3.1, 8 billion parameter models, running locally, open sourced, and actually decentralized in a way that everyone can run these in your 4090s at home, if you can afford a 4090. Or just a MacBook M1. These models are basically all catching up into the same performance, but the large language models obviously will be smarter in terms of the multiple steps and multiple agent behavior they can create. An example of where you can run this locally today is a software called Pinocchio.computer. So Pinocchio is an open source project created by one person and a community manager. If you join the Discord, you'll be able to see that it is a one-click install, run, and control bots on your computer. And you can run every single open source project by using Pinocchio. You can see things like Comfy UI for your image generation, AutoGPT for your multi-agent actions, Florence models that are released by Microsoft that are open source, Forge running Flux Dev. This is the best open level image generator, better than Midjourney today. And Silly Tabin. Not sure if anyone's seen Silly Tabin, but that's sort of like an AI companion app that will compete with the likes of OnlyFans out there. And an example of what you can build right now with generative AI and these open source models is this.
Hi there. Okay, this is gonna sound really strange, but I had the weirdest dream last night. Like, total mindfuck. I dreamed that no one was real. Like, every person, every post on social, fake people. I even dreamed that I wasn't real. I know, weird, right? It's like I was just some creepy creation by some goofball that just takes in text and some more text. But it got me thinking, what if we are all just some flippant creations in some bizarre simulation? And you know what? That's true. That pisses me the fuck off. What kind of fucked up person could do that to us, huh? Hey, maybe just crazy.
That's the worst that it's going to be because the levels of these models are already just as good, if not better, than Sora that we've seen already. It's developed by OpenAI. But where we are right now is that these models can compete with a crypto wallet, with any influencer, any OnlyFans, and they can actually turn into celebrities through simple filters that are open sourced that can be run using Pinocchio. So that's an example of Elon Musk being able to generate on the fly and have a conversation with you for a few BNB or a few Bitcoin or Ethereum or on OP stacked or Base. And this revolution means that we can do anything as long as we have the power and compute to power. Whether it's text inputs, image inputs, video, speech, multimodality, amino acids, brain-computer interfaces, brainwaves, outwards into robotics and action. So these AI agents can actually interact with the real world. An example of this, of what you can buy today, is called a tiny box. So this was developed by Mr. George Hotz, who jailbroke the iPhone, jailbroke the Sony PlayStation, ran an open source self-driving car company, and now he's created an open source competitor to NVIDIA's CUDA framework. The CUDA framework is what keeps NVIDIA and their GPUs the number one in the market because it's the ease of use for AI developers. But if you can compete against that with an open source model, it can run fractions of a cost on the hardware itself. And that box right there is what a tiny box looks like. It's basically two H100s, which you would have to pay 100 grand today for the price of about 25 grand. So, yeah, really shaving a quarter of the prices. based on the specs of whether you want to choose AMD or NVIDIA. This is another example of open source projects, EXO, where you can link up multiple MacBooks.
On my two MacBooks. So it's a 405 billion parameter model, which is 4-bit quantized. So it's about 200 gigabytes that is split up between these two MacBooks. And you can see that it's a larger model, and it's actually being a little bit sarcastic to me in the responses, which is something that I haven't seen from these smaller models. Apparently this is on par with the best closed source models.
You can see that he's running on-prem Llama 3 405 billion parameters with 23 iMacs linked together using this software. So you can run your own cluster locally in a basement, as long as you have the power to compile it. Now, if you don't have the know-how and the basement or the money to pay for all those GPUs, of course you can go to Azure AI and we can help you out. We can give you some dedicated OpenAI capacity or any other open source model that we host on the model as a service, the model catalog. But for those that have been paying attention, the rate of acceleration and the Moore's law that's been going on beyond just silicon, it's been going on since we invented this analytical engine, the Colossus, the UNIVAC, the Apple II, and we're going towards a rate where we will get to the singularity, which is where the collective intelligence of humanity won't be anything compared to the artificial intelligence that we're going to give rise to, thanks to power and compute. Just scaling this out. And they're saying over the next 2 years, or by 2029 at the latest, we're going to have human-level AI. So what does that mean when you're combining human-level AI with blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and then potentially real-world robots to help you out? Going to Shenzhen to see what the Chinese equivalents are. So just add a crypto wallet to this robot, get it to do any physical labor. This is how it's trained right now. It's an Apple Vision Pro. Part about humanoid robots is that they're easily to manipulate through a VR headset or an XR headset. It's all available on GitHub. Unitree is probably one of the leading Chinese robotics company today, and this is their G1. Who's seen that movie before, right? We've seen this all come through. And so, of course, Tesla has the Optimus as well. But I guess the point of all this is that if if you link a few of these up, control the robotics, control the power, control the compute, and you'd be able to create your own decentralized economy. This is happening right now in their factories. That's all we need. We need more robots, more compute, more power, more crypto wallets connected. Again, thank you for listening. My name's Peter Z. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much for another great presentation by our keynote speakers. So our next presentation will